The following podcast is a Country Mompreneur production.
Welcome to She Can and She Will. I'm Marianne, also known as the Country Mompreneur, and I'm joined by my co-host, Disa McAllister. We are moms, work-from-home experts, and we love helping women take control of their lives and see all the possibilities. On this show, you will learn from us as well as other women who kick butt in their lives and want to help you do the same. So sit back and get ready for some fun. Okay, well, I am being joined today by Valerie Bachinsky. Valerie, I am very interested in learning about your story today. Can you first just start by telling me about yourself and when it was that you were actually diagnosed with osteoarthritis?
Okay, again, my name is Valerie, and I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis when I was 27. And it's been quite a journey because, at 27, that's very young to be diagnosed.
Yeah.
And I was just getting into hiking at the time. And my doctor at the time told me to just put up my feet and relax. That's what I was told. And, that wasn't really acceptable to me. I found a lot of healing in the outdoors and, really feel like I should have been out there my whole life. So I kept doing what I was doing and kept hiking. And along the way, I discovered rock climbing. And, but unfortunately, I was only rock climbing about a year or two, and I fell and I broke my ankle.
Ooh.
Shattered it.
Oh, no.
And, soon after that, I developed osteoarthritis in my ankle too.
So can you tell me before you go much further, what is it? Because I don't totally know what it even is. Like my grandmother has arthritis in like her hands and stuff, but what is that the same or is this something different?
So a lot of doctors will say arthritis when it's osteoarthritis. There's over 100 different types of arthritis. Okay. Osteoarthritis is by far the most common. It's often, the old myth, the old misconception, the old way of describing is that it's wear and tear and it's just due to aging. Okay. But, we now know over like the last 20 years that is not the case, that it is largely an inflammatory process. So it might have a mechanical trigger, like an injury, like, shattering my ankle.
Right.
But then kind of inflammation kicks in and, lifestyle choices that we make can fuel this inflammation and kind of speed it along, so that, the joint degradation, happens quicker and also so that you'll have more pain.
So are you able to slow it down?
Yes.
So have you been able to do that? Is there some stuff that you've done?
Yes. So, a couple of years ago, it got pretty bad. Actually, 7 years, time flies so fast. 7 years ago, my knees really started to take a turn for the worse. It's funny, as my ankle was getting better because I was doing all these things for my ankle, but then my knees started getting worse. And about 3 years ago, I have a lot of dreams, a lot of things that I want to do, a lot of big rock climbs. I'm passionate about rock climbing. It is my life. And we went on a trip to Yosemite, and I really couldn't do anything because my knees hurt so bad. So I came home and I really had to make some big changes. So I did a lot of research. What I thought was true as a nurse. I was a nurse. God, I'm going on 30 years. I can't believe it. What I was taught and what I thought was true was not true. And that it is largely an inflammatory process. And, I made a lot of lifestyle changes. First of all, I, changed my diet. I call it inflammation fighting diet. So I did a lot of research on that. There's a lot of, wrong information out there. It's not as restrictive as a lot of, sources would make you think. I lost 50 pounds. And I dedicated myself to daily movement. So I have to get out. I have to move every day. I just got out for my walk already this morning. And then also stress and sleep. and, managing, stress and prioritizing sleep. Like, at a certain time I'm in bed, I have to make sure that I give that priority. And then, slowly I started to see an improvement. And, just Saturday and I never thought I would be able to do this again. I did a 16-mile hike, 4,700 feet of elevation gain and loss. And I mean, if you told me this 2 years ago that I'd be able to do this, I would be like, you're crazy. But, with all the changes and just this dedication to this lifestyle, and not crazy, I still struggle. I have emotional eating. I got a lot of, past trauma and stuff like that, 2 weeks ago, I did have a little slip up and, we had to postpone this hike for 2 weeks. Cause, definitely what I eat, I can definitely see the effect, on my joint pain.
Like immediately?
No, not immediately. Actually, and it depends. It's,
you never know.
Yeah. Like one English muffin's okay, but maybe two isn't. So, I feel like the better I stay baseline with my diet, I can afford an occasional indulgence, but, cool. I used to drink beer. I'd have a beer after a hike. And after this hike, I was like, I don't know if I want to really do that to my body after putting it through all this physical stress. Do I want to introduce that? Alcohol's a toxin.
Yeah.
As much as we all love it.
So you started out, you didn't have all the info that you have now. So now with your company, Genuine Glow Wellness, is that what you do, is help people that have just got diagnosed?
Yes.
Show them the way? Like,
yeah, through all stages. I just put out a book, and that is more for the beginner, the start. I almost called it the Osteoarthritis Starter Guide, but I ended up naming it Osteoarthritis 101.
How did now you said you broke your ankle and it was a flame in there. How did you find out initially that you even had it? Like, were you just having some aches and the doctor found it? Like, how did you first find out that that's what you had?
So when I first had osteoarthritis, when I was 27, I just had some aches in my knees. I worked in the hospital. I worked night shift, and I would always take the stairs, and it would hurt, after a hike, it would hurt to go up and down the stairs. And then
so
finally
you just thought you had some pains, and then they were like, nope.
Yep. And then I went to the doctor, and she told me, she was kind of shocked, cause that is young.
Yeah.
And I went back in, and, I can remember her looking at the x-rays and being really sad about it and sweet, but, definitely giving me the wrong advice, cause really that is the worst thing you can do if you have osteoarthritis, is to stop moving.
Do you feel like, so 27 is young. Do you feel that maybe it's just because of the industry you work in and your super awareness that they found it, and actually other people may have it that young and they're just not getting it diagnosed this early? And do you think finding it this early is helping you more?
I don't know, because I kind of just ignored it for so long. I mean, I went to I was a young nurse. I worked in pulmonary. I didn't like ortho at all. They would float me to the ortho unit, and I would hate it. I'm not sure how much it helped me back then, because really, it's funny is once I broke my ankle, that's when I really learned how to care for myself. I learned what it's like to be a patient. And that's also what triggered me to get I have a bachelor's degree in health education. I wanted that experience, having to navigate the healthcare system as a patient, really opened my eyes, and it really made me want to help other people who aren't nurses, because it was really difficult for me. And I can't imagine how difficult it is for a lay person or someone who's doesn't work in the medical field to navigate the healthcare system. So, that's what prompted me to go back to school. I got my degree in, health education, health science, but health education. And then, I ended up getting my master's in nursing. And that's what, your master's degree in nursing is what really teaches you to evaluate the scientific research and look at, the literature and stuff like that. And that was really when I could start to, look at studies and it gave me access to a database where I could, access these studies, because there's so many studies out there, and you can't get to them, which I think is sad. And even doctors can't get to them. So we have, even doctors today, you see them, they're still, putting out that narrative that it's wear and tear. And, I try so hard to fight that, and bone on bone.
Yeah.
I just went through this with a client the other day, is how horrible a statement that is, because it's wildly inaccurate. If you were actually bone on bone, you would be fracturing your bone, because we put so much force through our bones. And it just destroys hope. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? It just makes your bones hurt more. So I really try to, raise awareness, and, through my Instagram and my Facebook, try to fight those myths and those misconceptions.
And I like that you're doing that, because people that don't have the access like you do need it, because otherwise they're just taking people just take what the doctor tells them. So with your company, Genuine Glow Wellness, do you work with people one-on-one? Like, how is it? Do you work with them in person? Do you work with them virtually? What kind of stuff do you do? I
do work one-on-one, but I am trying to move more into more affordable group programs. So right now I'm building that out. Beginning of October, that'll be getting rolled out. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be like a membership model. So it'll be very low monthly costs, and it'll include education, but also like check-ins and support and Q&A. So that'll help me help more people, because what I find is that, people have spent all the money on the physical therapy and the doctors and the braces and the special shoes and, the coaching, even that I try to price it lower than, other people in the market. It's still out of reach for a lot of people. So I want to have something that's more in reach.
Where they can just get the knowledge that they need to be able to handle this.
Yep.
So if somebody's listening to this and wants to reach out to you, we'll add your links into the show notes, but what would be the best way for them to reach out to you?
Probably at my email, which is Valerie@genuineglowwellness.com.
Awesome.
Now, and I'm also, sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I'm also on Instagram, and I'm at Arthritis Health Coach.
Awesome. So we always end with one final question. What is one tip that you would give people to inspire them today to get motivated on whatever journey it is that they are on?
I think to, set a goal and make a plan. I had this goal of what I wanted to achieve, and it was what I couldn't achieve a few years ago. That time I was in Yosemite, and that was my dream, to achieve that, and then to actually make a plan. And I tell people to write it down, because if you write it down, it's more likely that you're going to stick to it. Instead of just saying, I'm going to try to do this, I'm going to try to do that, write down a plan, and set yourself up for success through meal prep and scheduling time for self-care. All that is very important. But, if you have osteoarthritis, I must say, treat yourself like you're an athlete, and you need to fight this.
Awesome. Well, Valerie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed our chat.
Thank you for listening. She Can and She Will is a Country Mompreneur production. Audio mix by Marianne. Research by Disa McAllister. To learn more about this and other Country Mompreneur productions, visit thecountrymompreneur.com.